Good morning, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK, and I want to talk about willpower and how willpower works and do you need it? Well, I think it's fair to say that in the first few weeks of anything, we need willpower. When we're starting something that's really different from what we're doing, whether that's eating or trying to give up something or quitting smoking or whatever, in the beginning, you're going to need a whole load of willpower. And this video really is what sets carnivore diet apart from all the others in terms of willpower. And for that, there will be a little bit of drawing on a bit of paper. I've just got back from a holiday and I was in the shower. I have some of my best thoughts in the shower. Do you have some of your best epiphanies in the shower? I was thinking about willpower and how is it that the carnivore thing is something that I can stick to for 10 times, 100 times more than anything else. And for this example, I'm going to compare carnivore to, let's go with the worst thing I've ever tried. What's the worst thing you've ever tried? Put in the comments underneath. For me, it was Slim Fast shakes. Do you know Slim Fast shakes? Do you know how long I lasted on Slim Fast shakes? A day and a half. Not joking. A day and a half. I was hating my life choices at that point. Day and a half. About 3 o'clock on my second day, I threw in the towel. And that was partly because I knew that it wasn't going to get better for me. I instinctively knew that there was no point holding it out for 5, 7, 10, 30 days, 90 days, because I instinctively knew that it was going to continue to feel bad doing that. Whereas with carnivore, when you've been in the space as long as I have, you know, because you've heard it a million times, the longer you do it, the more easier it becomes. It becomes easier every day. Every day, the chemistry in your body changes to the point where it's now easier. It's easier than yesterday, and tomorrow will be easier than today. Why? So many reasons. So many reasons. But let's talk about this little chart that I'm thinking of doing for you. You know, there we go. Motivation over time. I've had to draw that backwards. How lovely of that is that of me? Because we've got it on selfie mode. So we're going to have to do it backwards. Now, time. Let's go with 5 days, 30 days, 90 days. So you go, but let's compare Slim Fast to carnivore, just as a drawing. But first of all, what is in Slim Fast that makes it so difficult to do? It's basically all sugar. It's basically, they're trying to claim it's a meal replacement, but it is a whole load of, I haven't looked at the ingredients recently, but I should imagine it's quite similar to the Ensure drinks, things like that. So there's going to be some seed oil in there probably. There's going to be some fructose syrup in there, and a whole load of fake vitamins and minerals to try and pretend it's some kind of meal replacement. While my son was wandering around and annoying me, I've just done the rest of the graph. Down here we've got time, we've got 5 days, 30 days, 90 days, rough estimate. And up there we've got motivation and willpower. Now, where are you doing something where you are constantly hungry? Where are you when it's trying to do 800 calories a day, trying to do nutrition shakes a day? Have you ever tried doing those protein shakes? Most of them are so full of sweeteners that afterwards you feel exactly the same level of satiation you were before you had them. In fact, you feel more hungry because of the sweeteners. I'm talking about anything that you've tried where you know full well that you're going to be powered up on the first day, and then by day 5, it's done. There you go. There's your line. There is your line. Full power, day 5, bang. No good. No good. Because in something like nutritional shakes, they call themselves nutritional shakes, but it's a bit of a joke. You know, motivation's gone. Now, this is the secret with carnivore. This is why you don't need to keep going with the willpower. You do to start with. We're going to go with carnivore now. This is the carnivore line, the dotted line. You've got your full power motivation there and your willpower there. But what happens? After a while, you realise you don't even need the willpower. The willpower's gone and it goes about there. And you think, oh, okay, so maybe people quit on day 36, 37, 38, 39 or 40. No. And this is where the magic comes. Because you are so satiated and so full all the time, and the ketones have kicked in, and the body chemistry is starting to shift to a fat adapted, fat burning state, the willpower comes all by itself. That's when the real magic comes. This is kind of the forced willpower line that you might need. That is the willpower that you need to keep, for those first 30 days. Keeping away from social activities is wise in the first 30 days. Making sure you are constantly full and having that and riding out the cravings and riding out the irritation without the cravings. That's important. But there becomes a point around day 30, for some people maybe a little bit longer, where they no longer have to fake their willpower and motivation, and all of a sudden they're flying. All of your decisions are just easy and natural. And you go, and even if you have to willpower it all the way to day 90, the body's going to take over. And this line up here, this big line up here, you're gone. You're gone. As Anthony Chaffee would say, you're not at the wall, you're past the wall. The wall is gone behind you. You have not hit the wall. The wall is behind you. You can't even see it in the rear view mirror, because your body chemistry and the satiation and the ketones and the ketosis and everything else and the fat satiation and the protein satiation has sent your body into overdrive. So if you're asking a question of what is better for health and weight loss than meal replacements, nutritional shakes, crash and burn at day 5, or have some motivation and willpower. You can get to 30 because you're not starving, and then after the 30 you're flying because of the ketones and the fat adaptation and the high satiation. And if you can get to 60 days, food doesn't look like food anymore. I know from my previous experience with this, it takes about 3 to 4 months before the food that you think you want starts to not look like food. The longest I've done is in one go is 6 months. And I have to say, around the 3 or 4 month mark, I could walk into a supermarket, walk straight past. And what is fascinating is, isn't it amazing how these foods have been made to make them glow? I'm not going to tell you which brand of food I'm thinking about right this second. I'm just using it as an example, but I'm not going to tell you the name or the brand, because if you're someone who's very, very carb addicted, you may then think, wow, yeah, how am I going to do without that brand and that thing? But this particular brand uses a very particular bright colour. And a particular colour, I probably shouldn't even say it, so I'm not going to, but you may know what I'm talking about. And at Christmas they use this particular colour in their confectionery a lot. And it's got to the point where I've actually seen something out of the corner of my eye that was that colour and shiny, and I thought it was that food, and it turned out it was a non-food thing. I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but I remember looking, thinking, oh, there's some of that over there. And then when I looked, it was a frigging pen or something, it was a pen or a sharpener, or it's just some random non-food item. And it's amazing how they can get you to feel that warm glow towards that thing. Is that my sparkly pen? I only use sparkly pens now. Sparkly tops, sparkly pens, and all my plates are flowery. Because I'm on a new level now. This is a new level of me. But yeah, I was standing in the shower on holiday, and I was just thinking about willpower and how if you are doing something that relies on willpower, and you are going to have to do that willpower for a long period of time, you're going to crash. Obviously, you get these specimens that manage to do it. I mean, my mother-in-law, yes, let's use her as an example. She said to me once, well, she had 2 different ideas for weight loss. She said, well, all you have to do is eat 1,000 calories a day and you'll lose weight. And I remember at that point I'd already moved over from calories and into a more keto carnivore kind of world, so I just sat quietly and just thought, I'm not going to say anything. She thinks that as somebody who is £500, say, for example, she hasn't even thought about it. I don't think she's really thought it through. She just threw the information at me. And I thought, so you're saying that someone who's £500, for example, now how long do you think that person's going to take to lose weight on 1,000 calories a day? It's going to be a long time, isn't it? It's probably going to be the best part of a year. How do you think that person is feeling for that whole year? Do you think they can sustain that feeling of starvation and emptiness that comes from that? That constant feeling of being hungry, night after night after night. How long do you think someone can sustain that? It's upsetting. It made me feel really sad when she said that, because I just thought, that's just, okay, if you've got £5 to lose and you're going on holiday next week, that might work for you. But someone that's got compounding serious health problems and has got £300, £400, £500 to lose, that is just a terrible suggestion. And we know, don't we, because we've experienced it and we've heard it from the people that study this stuff, your base metabolic rate's going to just tank, and it will get harder and harder and harder. So instead of it getting easier and easier, it's just getting harder and harder. So I just looked at it and thought, well, that's not going to work for 99% of people. It does work for her because she's so obsessed with being thin that she will happily be uncomfortable to do it. You know, she somehow, she's hangry all the time, by the way. Hangry all the time. I've never met a grumpier person. But because she's so obsessed with thinness that she just will do it, even if she is feeling uncomfortable constantly. Most people can't sustain that, and most people's chemistry won't let them sustain that. She must be wired a certain way if she can live like that for 50 years and be okay with feeling empty and hangry all the time. I panic with 5 minutes of feeling like that, so that's not going to work. And her other suggestion was, oh, just give up crisps and chocolate. But what if that's not your weed? What if crisps and chocolate isn't your weed? It isn't actually mine. Mine's sweets. So her suggestion was either eat 1,000 calories a day or give up crisps and chocolate. So what if your weed is deep fried fish and chip shops down the street? What if your weed is Haribo sweets and you can eat 200 in one sitting and then want more? Yep. Those are the sorts of, her two kind of diets are the sort that are going to go like that. But back to carnivore. I just went on a rant then, didn't I? Most people don't get to the end of my video, so it doesn't matter. I just wanted to start strong. I have to say, if you worry about running out of motivation and you worry about willpower, but you've got enough weight to lose that you need to keep going, or you've got a serious health concern where you need to keep going, give carnivore diet a go for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Nothing really bad's going to happen to you in that time. I mean, obviously, if you've come from a high oxalate, look up oxalates. If you've come from a diet that's incredibly plant-based and healthy, like spinach and almonds and things like that, you may have to taper those things down before going carnivore. But if your diet is relatively low oxalate in the first place, do 30 days, fatty meat, water, and see what happens to you at the 30-day point, and you might be shocked. Yes, those first 7 days are going to require a bit of motivation and willpower, but they'll be worth it, because every day gets a bit easier and a bit easier and a bit easier until you are flying. That's where I am at the moment, by the way. I don't know what day I'm on. I think it's day 36 or 37 of eat as much meat as you can and don't weigh yourself. Feel amazing. I feel like I could ride over any problem at the moment. I am carnivore forever. Normally I only say that on the first day. But the fact that I've managed to go through quite a miserable family holiday of bad weather and everyone else eating crap around me, and then there's been this problem with my tummy, and then there's been a problem with my son, and does he or does he not have to have 2 teeth out? And I've been very aggravated by all of it, and I'm still carnivore, because I am carnivore. I am carnivore. I don't need to write that down because you know it already. I'm going to leave you there because this video was supposed to be 10 minutes and it was 16 minutes. there probably will be another video because I need to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 998, but my watch hours are low because I took some time out. I took 3 months out of making videos, and so my watch hours are really low, and I'm not going to get any kind of recognition from YouTube until I've got my 1,000 viewers and my 4,000 watch hours over a 365-day period. So maybe just watch one of my longest ones and put it on in the background and go and have a shower and just let it run. You don't have to listen to it, and then I might be able to get my recognition from YouTube. But this channel's going to be, it's going to be a lot better from now on, and there's going to be loads of things I'm talking about. I'm still excited about doing my 101 reasons to do it. I'm up to about 98 now, so if you've got a reason to do it that I haven't thought of, let me know, and at some point in the next month or two I'm going to throw together a really snappy 101 reasons to do carnivore, and I cannot wait to do it, and it's going to be fast, no waffling, just snappy. You have an amazing day, guys. Wherever you are, eat as much meat as you can. If you don't manage it, don't panic, because even imperfect carnivores can have health benefits. Drink your water, get some sunshine if you can, and thrive. Take care, bye.